Morning. No way you're complaining about me being 2 minutes late. That's wild. Good morning from sunny Tampa. We're like pretty close to each other then. All right. Let some people join in here. Let me tell everyone I'm live. All right. Post it on Twitter. Oh, I should probably post it on Instagram real quick. All right, hold up. All right, give me a minute to post the link on Instagram. Sorry. All right. Then we'll get into everything. We can look at the charts. All right. Why gold is falling? Or gold's been falling. We talked about it yesterday, but we can. All right, let's go take a look. What people saying? Chart colors. All right, everything's black. This is this color. I'll just paste it in chat. That's the hex code. All right. Anyways, let's start into gold. Like we were saying, pull up our monthly chart. If we did not get a reaction out of this level, right, higher, what does that mean? It means we go towards this level. At this rate, we have a very aggressive displacement. We're displacing through the EQ with a monthly candle, which usually means what is the target? It wants to go outside bar on the monthly, which means it wants to go to here. It can go a lot lower if it wants, but that would be my target until April. Kind of similar for silver here, right? Candle 2 closure while disrespecting the EQ goes lower. There you go. All right, let's see. My volume is low today. It's probably because I just woke up. I'm tired. I thought that was a giveaway code. A lot of people thought it was probably. All right, oil is just chilling. Not that interesting. So let's go take a look. Bitcoin falling lower, right? We talked about it. We'll go to the hourly because it's going to show it pretty easy. What do we have? Candle 2 closure on the daily, right? Open high first, right? We trade lower. And then in this day, right, we're still seeking a continuation, ideally into those lows, right? We open, we sweep out these failure swings into a protected swing, make a new protected swing, and then we're trending lower, right? Makes sense? So I'm still under the impression I want to see Bitcoin to 49K, but maybe that's a bit ambitious. Let's go take a look at indices. So ES, what are we? All right. So ES finally hit those equal lows, right? And we can go back to what we spoke about yesterday on stream, right? Because we were talking about if YM doesn't react below previous day low, right? Here, if YM didn't reverse here, that sends ES lower, right? And you can see we eventually get that move lower. Why does this happen? Well, Fed rates, but then we're getting a continuation of that, right? Candle 2 closure. What do we have? open high first into an objective, not objective, but point of interest. Close through, we retest 50% of that, close through. Ideally, this just continues lower until 10 a.m., but we will see. Dollar. You took a loss on dollars, not, let's see what's going on. I mean, so that's, real quick. I mean, to me, like I said, we were speaking yesterday. I'm going off of what we spoke about in stream yesterday, right? As long as this was holding up, right, then we could see higher. You see how candle 2 expands. So this is a little lesson is if candle 2, which we're identifying as a reversal candle, also is the expansion candle, it can set up lower probability conditions in the following candle. Does that make sense? Because ideally, we have candle 2 be a reversal candle, right? So we have this. And ideally, candle 2 is a reversal candle, and then we can trade the expansion in candle 3, right? But what happens is here, those got blended together, and you have a reversal and expansion candle, right here. A lot of times when that happens, we get a new phase of price. So let's talk about this really quick. Go to the hour. We don't really have many open objectives, right? Because this high was taken, so I could see this frame either way. I'm not too biased. Now, generally speaking, if I wanted to trade this back lower, I need a sweep of previous day high or an SMT. So for dollar, I would have needed a sweep of previous day high. But for me, it's not valid to trade this lower, right? So really, I'm uninterested in today unless we do what? We reach back towards the EQ, we hold these lows, and then we have a reaction there, right? But even then, most of this is a bearish day, so you're fighting the daily profile. It's better off to just wait for the following day, right? Because this is either going to fail or it's going to hold. If it holds, then you can look for the following day higher. If it fails, well, then what becomes your target, right? It's like, this is a day that I don't really know what's going on. You know? Like, you don't always know what's going on. I don't know what's going on here. But the whole idea is I would probably let this day pass, right? Because there's no way to frame it downside because we didn't get that. I'll show you what the downside move would have looked like, right? We would have needed this, right? It would have needed to do that because then what's happening? We're reversing off of a relevant level, previous day high, right? Right here. And then we can actually look to frame it back towards where? Well, the current low day or towards the EQ, right? But since that is lacking, there's no framework to trade this back lower. That makes sense? What is the indicator name? If you check the description, it's in the description of the video. We can just go here. Why are you not taking trades in your fractal model plus inversion entry? I don't really use inversions like that, really. It has to be very specific. So, let's see. GBP, JPY. Well, let's first look at currency futures. We can kind of get a sense for what's actually going on. That should be relatively the same. Yen off that. Currency is not that interesting to me today. BHF. I would probably be focused on either looking for AUD down into here, right? So something like, instead of, you were saying what, JPY? Where were you? GBP, JPY. See, right now you're doing JPY, which is bullish, versus GBP, which is also moving up. So if you look GBP, JPY, you're not really getting much of a trend here, right? There you are. Not, I don't know. I'd prefer something like GBP, AUD, right? You see, it gives a better trend. So that when you just pair the currencies together, which I made a video on this, but not really interesting to me in dollar, right? So if you did want to do something, then you pair stuff together. AUD is very weak, so you'd want to pair that against something that's holding up. So actually like AUD JPY is going to be trending pretty hard, right? Makes sense? But that's just more advanced. All right, let's see. No discount codes, no. Why is your mic super low? I can turn it up a little. All right, let me test it. Make sure I don't want to peak. All right, we're not peaking. There we go. Turn my audio interface up a little. I'm just quiet today. What's your entry time frame? I don't really care about my entry time frame. It could be the hourly, it could be the 30-minute, 15, can be a 3-minute. It's really anything. I just need to trade away from something. Really quick, before we get into the open, let's take a look at something really quick. It's a bit weird to see ES the weakest, right? Because normally it's in the middle, so that's a bit unusual. But let's go see if we can see anything on the lower time frame that tells us anything different. No, they're kind of trading the same today. I would say that ES is the weakest and then YM, which is weird because normally ES is in the middle. So that's quite interesting. But we're probably going to wait for the open, right? Unless you're short below lows before lows getting taken out up into here, right? Up in here. There's no entry currently. So I need to wait for a new 4-hour candle, right? Because if you look at this 4-hour candle, but it did go to our target we were speaking about, right? Here, and it's already going lower. Mark out this. What is range? That's plenty fine for the daily range. So I'd say that's probably my target for the day. We have open high first, right? So we make a high, we can trade away from it. It would have been a little more preferred if we have SMT up there, but we don't. And then we're trading away. So, you know, scalping model, you could look for swing points on the 15-minute here. Doesn't form any. So you kind of just have to sit and wait. There's nothing valid in before open. Explain fractal model in Q. I mean, you're gonna have to be a little bit more specific there. Time frames, like here you go, ready? We'll go on the hourly and daily. Well, daily swept out its previous high, has SMT, has a change in state of delivery, right? Close lower. So then you'd be looking for a continuation in candle 3 from the EQ. Your first target is a swing low, right? Like I don't know what you want me to explain unless you got to be a little more like telling me what's up. All right. Let's see something really quick. All right. Give me one sec. We have 1,000 people in here, so we will do our first giveaway. There you go, whoever can get that. That is 100% off a Lucid 25K Flex account. T is avoiding my question. I am not avoiding any questions. You take a look at chat. I look at my screen for 1 minute and the chat goes down. So I will miss your question a lot of the times. That's just how it works when there's over 1,000 people in the chat. No, I do not stream every day in the mentorship. All right. Whoever got that code, congrats on your new free account. Tell 1K people to get your likes up. Yeah, it's at 159. If you do enjoy the stream, give it a like, I guess. What's the news with oil? There's really not much going on, right? Here's the thing. You'd be wanting to see a continuation higher. But if you notice what happens, we open, don't really do much. We consolidate. Do we have SMT on the previous day high? We do. Right, so we have SMT, right? And open high, and then we're just consolidating, right? So we're not getting an aggressive reaction out of this area, which we would need to react from if we're going to trade higher. So then if we fail to do that, my mind then goes to, hey, we're going to take out one side of the consolidation. So if I had to make a analysis prediction here, I'd probably say that it would be something like this. This is not really what you want to see. You don't want to see a super large wick, but something where we trade lower, right? Depending on this closure. This would be more something like here. If it stays low, if it just buys back up, then it's not interesting at all. I'm sorry. Okay, you spammed the same thing. I don't really care. I'm sorry, this other model is best because it has small stop loss. If you think the stop loss in my model is huge, you likely do not understand my model, which is fine. But if you're just going to come in here to spam that, maybe go do something else with your life. Thank you. Guys, I'm not interested in trading this short right now. Am I short bias? Yes. Why am I not trading it short? Well, look, 4-hour candle, it's up here. You're not near the open, right? See that? You're not trading near the open. You're trading below if you're to short that. 1 hour, candle 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're in candle 6. 30-minute. Is there any swing to trade off of? No. Right? So there's no valid model to trade lower right now. So you can't just sit here and force things. You have to wait and see if the market is going to come back and give you a continuation, or if you're just completely wrong and maybe it returns back to this candle with no wick, right? I don't know, and I'm just going to let open tell me what it wants to do. Yo, what's up, Alex? How are you? We can 100% do that. How did you get your voice so heavy? I think you just wake up in the morning and your voice is a bit deeper than normal, you know? Since I just woke up, my voice is a bit more harsh, right? So we'll sit on the 15. Funny enough, oil is probably the most interesting right now. If we can get a closure lower here and at 9:30, like ideally you would form a continuation on the 15-minute, right? And that's why I was saying for this drawing on the 3-minute, not as interesting until 9:30, right? Because this is a 30-minute candle. I'd rather just see this close and then have a new wick to trade off of. But we can see if that closes like that. Come back at 9:30. I don't trade every day, or like I don't stream every day. I don't trade every day. I have streamed the past, what, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for fun, because I wake up and I was like, yo, this is kind of fun. I'm gonna do this. Yo, aren't we meant to just click the link for the giveaway or copy and paste the code? Well, I kind of just do whatever I want to do. How do you determine that fast which indice is weaker? I mean, I just have a lot of practice in looking at it, but what I'm looking at there is, ready? We're gonna, before open, we're gonna go ahead and learn together, ready? So this is how we're gonna do it. Ready? We're gonna go to my website, and then you see this thing that says trading education. We're gonna click that. That will take us to this section that looks like this. This is all free, by the way. And then, hey, relative strength and weakness, we're going to click into there. Okay. And then there are 3 things that I look for to determine relative strength or weakness, right? So these are all pulled from the website. I use SMT, candle closures, and structure. Great. So what do I look for? Right? Well, first I want to see if there's any SMT. There's SMT off the previous day high, right? We were talking about that yesterday. But we've already ran out this low. So is there any SMT at that low, right? And I see that NQ hasn't taken this out. So what does that tell me? SMT tells me that NQ is strong, you guessed. Okay. Then I normally anticipate that YM is weakest because they're on the opposite ends, right? But I'm just looking at the charts and I see when I click through, like ES is kind of just chilling. I mean, YM is just kind of chilling here. ES is going a bit lower. Then I would go down to the lower time frames and I'm looking at candle closures, right? So I think I was on the 30, right? We have a gap right here. That's pretty clear. We do have a gap right here, but just in terms of these candle closures in this range, if you look at those versus ES here, ES just tells me it's a bit weaker, right? It's ES or YM, but not NQ, right? So that's all I did, but I just kind of did it quickly. What is the name of the indicator? So for the indicator, guys, here's like you can just check the description. In the description, you'll have indicator, and that's the link. All right, now that we're done explaining some stuff, let's see if anything has changed. Nope. There's not going to be a 15-minute closure below there, so we are not correct. Do you see how like you can just be wrong and it doesn't really matter because you never got the closures to take that? So you see how, really quick, this is a lesson. Oops. This is why I don't take reversal trades, right? Because look, if I was to just trade this reversal here with my stop on the high, I have no confirmation that it trades lower. Another thing is this sweeping out with a large wick is not that ideal. But that's how I used to take a lot of my losses early on, is I would try to trade a reversal and I just get stopped out. So now I just wait for, do we form another high? Basically, in the simple point of my model, I am waiting for a lower high if bearish and a higher low if bullish. That's what it comes down to. How often do I go live in the Education of the Market Lens? 2 times a week right now. With dollar today, it's currently in a 1-hour fair value gap. Yeah. So like I said, we don't have anything to frame it to the downside. So the only way to frame it is this if we get some sort of reaction here, right? But to me, it's rather uninteresting because what's my target on this? Daily open or these highs? Sure. So I could do that. But if that's going to form, I usually don't expect it to just expand and rip, right? So I'd rather just let this form and then in the following day, right? This is the whole point of my model. Right? In the following day, then I'd just rather trade the continuation. So what do I mean by that? Well, we'll go to an example of one that looks just like that. Where are we at? Right here. It's not exactly like it, but for instance, this is what I mean is, okay guys, price has reversed here. I'm more interested in waiting for a continuation, right? And I'd rather be trading this reversal here intraday is a continuation of this move. I'm waiting for another continuation to trade it higher. I'm always just seeking a continuation. That's really what it comes down to. So now we go back to oil, right? Same thing. If I was trying to trade this move lower, right, which was valid to me, right? I'm not looking to trade this reversal. I'm looking for a continuation. We never get a continuation. It saves me from taking a loss. Does that make sense? That's the whole point of my model. Do you use order flow? No, I don't use order flow. I don't use TPO, footprint, anything like that. All right. So we're nearing open. Let's see real quick. Go to the 5-minute for a second. I'm still bearish, right? Funny enough, yeah, NQ kind of got a little bit weaker here. So you can see this SMT here. So now NQ has some short-term weakness. So I don't know if it wants to catch up or what, but the 3-minute. And let's see. We'll just kind of wait and see what happens off the open. This isn't something I would trade, but ideally, price doesn't really go above this, right? If we're going to trade lower, what? We have a high. We're doing what? We see if we form a continuation, right? Now, a lot of times open will just send stuff lower, and that's fine, right? There's a difference between understanding where you want price to go and actually being able to align with that. Man, your fractal model is the best for me. I tried every strategy and yours was the only one that works for me. My only problem is I always miss my entry, is it never retests the OB after CSC. So I personally don't look for a retest after a closure. So for instance, if I was trading, you know, this closure through here, right? I don't care if this retests it or not. I'm just taking the entry when it closes through. So let's see. I open, if I had to guess, does something like that. And then it either continues lower or reacts off that a little bit higher. I don't really have much bias for this open. It's not really one-sided to me. But why 3-minute time frame in 2 instead of 2? I don't really use a 2-minute that much. So just prefer the 3. What's your target for lows? I'm looking at YM daily chart there. Right? Does ES have anything? Sure, it could reach there, but that's too much in the daily range, so I'd rather use YM as a target. We could see that. It's quite some range, but it's definitely doable for NQ. So basically NQ and ES use as targets for today. But we'll see. We'll see if we form a lower high. That's really what it is, right? Do we form a lower high in here? Because there's no confirmation, right? And normally it's not the best thing to see is when you react off the CISD level. Please check GBP USD. The reasons I flipped. No flipped bullish. We'll watch after the open. We got 4 seconds here, so we're gonna focus on this. Let me just go. Yeah. Yeah, we missed that. There's an SMT right there. So there's an SMT in this gap. Oh, can just go lower. It was reading a question instead of paying attention. So, but nonetheless, right idea. You see how, funny enough, we choose the weakest one. You see how NQ became weakest, and that's what we noted, right? So at first we come in, we're looking at YM. This price action in here and tells me that NQ is the weakest in the short term. Doesn't trading a continuation leave you entering price later? Well, yeah, but you also have a higher win rate, you know? Retrace for entry. I wouldn't be interested if price retraces all the way up here for an entry, guys. Here's the thing about expansion, right? When you have expansion, there's shallow retracements, right? You see what I mean? Now, if you get a big, large retracement, right? That's usually not that. It's that. Right? So for instance, here, if I see price retrace all the way up to here, it's not a retracement. That's a reversal. And then I'm looking for it to run higher, right? So you don't really want to see price retrace a lot. You just want to see it kind of expand lower. So like instance here is I would just want to see until 10 a.m., right? I just want to see price trend lower, right? Because if we're going to trend, we don't get deep retracements. I don't want to see price go back all the way up here. I found peace in trading through your fractal model. Only taking entries during New York AM. Nice. You got to pay out. Sick. Notice that SMT stop 100 and shorted NQ. Nice. How do you caught NQ just now? How do you enter? Well, I would probably enter lower size because it's off the open, and I don't really feel like, you know, taking an entry and putting my stop up here. I would rather just put my stop on this, take a smaller position size, just expect to get stopped out, but if it doesn't, then you're into this move. That's the only way I'd trade it. So now you'll see, like, we have expansion, and then what do you want? Well, you'd want the lower half of this gap if we're going to expand lower, right? And that's because you don't want to see expansion be bought back up. Because here's the thing, if this gets bought back up, this is now a V-shaped reversal to the upside. That's why I keep saying in expansions, you want shallow retracements. You want to just reach into this gap a little bit, maybe up to there, and then just go lower, right? So for me, it's like, that's what I want to see. Lower half of this gap, just push price to this daily level. Right now, it's where I normally have 3 screens up, so I can see all these. You see, this is not great in terms of continuation for NQ. So we'll see. Ideally, we don't want to see YM push higher. We want to see it hit here and then reverse back lower if NQ is going to get a continuation. Right? So we kind of want to watch that. This is where it's like all those people saying inversions. This is where you could actually use an inversion, where you want to see price inverse this gap to provide further continuation that this is going to go lower. Because if we don't, right, it's not that great. And that's why I normally have these up, right? I normally have this screen up because I can just sit here and watch all 3 at once. But a lot of people on YouTube don't like that because for them, it's too small. So you guys can tell me what you like, but that's it, right? So we'll just go back here. Like I said, right, we want to see, you want to see this reverse, otherwise it's not that interesting. Split the screen, that's fine. All right, cool. So now you can kind of see what I was pointing out on the open. We have SMT here, which makes NQ weaker, right, to push lower. Now, what I'm saying is I want to see a reversal here in YM, right? And that's what I was pointing out on the 1 minute. A sweep of these highs, and for price to reverse, inverse this gap. Why is that? Well, yes, these assets will decouple sometimes, right? You can see this one's trading higher while this one's trading lower at the time. But I still use them to like sync together, right? So when price trades into this high, now we're making a new SMT, right? And I'm saying, okay, well, I want to see this reverse here, trade lower through this gap, because then that allows the weakest asset, which is currently NQ, to trade lower, right? So now what do I want to see on the 1 minute? It's pretty simple. A closure below this gap, below this low, right? See these all trade lower. Because what do we have? We need to go back out to the daily on NQ really quick. We have this level on the daily. Let's go to YM really quick. Check out that. Right. Does that make sense? Will it be silver bullet on NQ? I don't know what you mean by that, so I can't answer that. Right, so this is what you want to see, right? We wanted to see a reversal here. Because if price doesn't reverse here, guys, it goes higher, and then that's uninteresting for this trend to continue lower, right? So now we want to see this push lower. So really, I'm using the current strongest asset to tell me what is up on the other ones, but it's a lot better to do this when you have like a very clean framework to trade off of. This isn't inherently that clean. So, and I don't have any higher time frame candles up, but we can put them up if we want. To me, if I'm streaming this on YouTube, here's a quick thing you can note as well. See how this is a nice green candle? This one is struggling more. That shows you that on this lower time frame right here, YM is the strongest and Q is still the weakest. But We'll see what happens. Let's pull up our higher time frame candles because I feel a bit weird without them. Right, so you'll see it also lines up with the fractal model here. So what are we looking for? Ideally, we're looking for price to continue lower. Right, we have that target. YM's a bit closer to its targets. The only thing is now this price action is not very clean. So, all right, let me see any questions. Guys, you've spammed the same thing. Will it be silver bullet on Q? I'm just gonna put you in timeout because I don't really care to see the same question over and over. I already answered that. Which time frame are the higher time frame candles? This is the 1 minute, so these are the 15 currently. What I kind of see now is if we're gonna still hold this, we'll have an SMT here and SMT here, right? Which we now have. So now we need to see NQ form a reversal. It's just not that interesting because let's zoom out a little, right? We're gonna get caught up in the lower time frames. Where are we at in the day? Where are we at in the 4-hour range, right? Really, if you see this type of move, you just want to see it just expand right away, which is what we started to see. But normally you want to see this just continue right away. So we'll see if we get this SMT here on YM. We need NQ to reverse here. Otherwise, we'll probably just wait till 10 a.m. and then kind of regroup. That makes sense. But YM right now is kind of telling me the most. Yes, so for me, I always have set turned off and I have B adjust turned on. Right. So let's see. We want this to push lower below here. We want to see a reversal on NQ. Otherwise, we are just kind of wrong with the timing of it, and then we can wait till 10 a.m. Why is it expanding so long from yesterday? Let's go back here while we explain this. What do you mean expanding so long? You mean like price is expanding? I mean, it's just price forms a swing point. We have expansion candle and then ideally expansion candle, right? Now it's most ideal to enter these around the opening price, which we're a bit low. So see what happens. It's just messy. EU has been chaotic, full of losses. I mean, you just need to focus on when dollar has a clean framework, right? Like that's not that bad actually on the 3 minute. But if you guys want to find the easiest daily bias, it's really just going to be when price has a candle to closure. Price has a candle to closure, you have this data trade and this data trade. Is there any clean candle to closures? This is a candle to closure, but it already expanded, right? You focus on those candle to closures that look like a reversal. I think silver is a good example, right? That's going to be the easiest. Clean candle to closure out of a point of interest. 1 day, 2 day. Now I don't really care, right? It gives you good 2 days of expansion. So if you're getting chopped up on Euro USD, sit here and say, you can see it on my chart. When's the last time it was clean? Well, you can see, here's a low, consolidation, we run it out. What do you have? A clean candle to closure. 1 day, 2 day, and then here's a short-term low, and then we run into that one. And this was a entry talking about the 15-minute chart. Right? It's like, this is when price is going to give a clean expansion. This is when you can anticipate it. Besides that, like stop trying to force yourself onto the market because it usually doesn't end up very well. Right. So now we're not really doing much. Let's talk about it really quick and we'll focus on NQ because this is where the explanation comes in. Right. If we wanted to see price expand from 930 to 10, What do we not want to see, guys? We don't want to see a deep retracement because then it becomes bullish, right? Because on a higher time frame, it's forming a wick, right? So that's why I was saying we generally just want to see this trade lower, which it didn't. So we are either just wrong or we need to wait till 10 a.m. Does that make sense? Where do you think the W candle is capped on the indices? I don't know what you mean W candle. There's 10 a.m. moderate news. I don't really care too much about 10 a.m. news. It just gives a little extra volatility. But we'll just kind of chill here. I still think it goes lower. I think NQ wants to catch up to this low. We need a swing to be able to trade off of. There's no real swing. The only reason we were looking is because 15-minute gave a swing point. Then you can attempt something or look for something. There's no follow through on it, right? So you can see if you enter around the opening price here, you have chance, or it stops you out, whatever. Now we kind of just have to sit here and wait. Gold futures. Everyone's talking about gold. Guys, here's the thing. If you didn't trade it, ready? Let's talk about it again. Candle 2 closure, it gives you 1 day, 2 day. If you're not trading this day or this day, and its price has already went 7% down, why are you trying to chase this or trade this? You have to realize you missed a move. You missed this. If you miss this, you just have to accept that, right? You're going to lose if you go and try to just chase stuff around here, right? Because this is what happens, ready? You have a clean expansion, no one gets on side, no one gets on side. Oh, all right, it's time to get on side. It's going to go lower. Chops up, stops you out. All right, then another clean expansion. You know what I mean? That's just normally how it works. Trying to reverse gold, not catch a short. I mean, I'm kind of under the same impression. Like, why would you say that gold should reverse right here? That's my question. Like, what tells you that? You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of catching reversals that look like that. It's like this. People will be like, oh, previous day low. Oh, it's into here. I can try to catch this. Oh, it's into this gap. Okay, now it's into this gap. Okay, now it's into this gap. They blow their whole account. Then it finally reverses. And then, oh, look, there's a candle 3. It's just keep it a lot more simple. How do you line up higher time frames correctly? It's just my indicator. It's like this. If I throw it on there, will just be a monthly time frame, which is bearish. So, all right, we have a new 15-minute candle. We'll go take a look at NQ just to see. Okay, NQ is still the weakest right now, but it's not that interesting. Because like I said, we don't want to see a deep retracement because now this is forming a bullish setup. The only way that this doesn't get taken out is if we have some sort of SMT. So then at that rate, it's like I want to see YM run into this high. But nonetheless, I'm still not interested until 10 a.m. So why should we sit down here? We shouldn't. I got this NQ reaction to YM and got my account pass, looking for new continuations. Nice job. DXY and Euro have SMT. Sure. You mean on the high? On the low? Sure, you do. So you could trade that SMT if you want. I just personally don't care. If I'm trading currencies, guys, I just mainly have all my analysis on the dollar and then I go elsewhere. You know what I mean? Quit futures. I don't know what you mean. But we'll come back to this at 10 a.m. Let's answer some questions because really until 10 a.m. it's not that interesting. The problem is like this is the good structure for a New York reversal. It's just I don't have a relevant level to frame it off of. So there's no way for me to be bullish. Otherwise, this is like a pretty nice reversal. Check RTY. Yeah, RTY, it's the same thing as I was just saying, right? This is a good structure for a reversal. Is there anything to frame it off of? I mean, not really. Sure, you could say this daily low, but you would want it more of a consolidation. It's a larger wick. I'm not a fan of trading reversal days. You guys know this. How's the week been, better? Or how's the week been, brother? Done much? Been anywhere? Just been hanging out with my girlfriend and her family. My grandparents actually flying today, so I'm gonna be spending the weekend with my grandparents, so I'm not doing much in terms of work, anything like that. What car do I drive? Let me take a photo of it. I'll show chat. This is the car I drive. Drive a RSQ8 Performance. Like carbon fiber and blacked out. It's fun. It's a family car, you know? What work do you do? I own a few other companies and starting a couple other companies and do some consulting. I have other work that I do as well. So it's like, it's not just trading. So some of you guys might know this. I don't share it publicly really, but I have a concept I created called ICCISD, which is intra candle change and state of delivery, right? So that's what forms the wick of the higher time frame candle. This, yes, you need it. You need off a POI. If no FEG or high/low, then can use the CISD itself. There you go. A look into private content. It's about the only thing I've kept in my mentorship without releasing, which it's actually public. I have released a video on it. I just called it something differently. Someone said baby Urus. I mean, it's pretty much a Urus, yeah. It's just a bit cleaner. I don't really like the look of Urus. Do you recommend prop firms or personal accounts? And here's the answer to that. You need to make a list called a pro-con list. They have pros, they have cons. You need to figure out which one is the best for you and go. I tend to prefer my personal account just because it's easier. I can do whatever I want with it. And there you go. Ever gonna get a supercar? I think my car is pretty close to a supercar, so I don't really care. Here you go. This is what ChatGPT says, or the AI overview. Yes, the RSQ8 Performance is considered a super SUV. 630 horsepower, 0 to 60. It's faster than this. It's like 3.2. So yeah, it's I don't really need to get a different car. Indicator name. Indicator is in the description. When are you coming back to Cape Town? Maybe December? All right, here, ready? I'm gonna put this on the screen before people get upset. 10 minutes. Or we're just gonna say we are waiting for 10 a.m. All right, no one get upset. We're waiting for 10 a.m. to look at the market. YM took the high. Yeah. I mean, YM's the strongest now, so. Any example of the 4-hour power 3 like the video? I mean, if we'll see what happens at 10 a.m. and we can show a live one potentially. How you manage your entry in this fast price action? How do you execute fast? If you're really stressing out about entries, guys, like you are too slow with entries, getting stressed out, etc. That's a problem, all right? What's the root cause? Well, you're on too low of a time frame. So if you're sitting on the M1 to M3 and you're getting all stressed out, hey, maybe go up to the M5, the M15. If you're on the M5 and getting stressed out, maybe go to the M15. If you're on the M15 and getting stressed out, maybe go to the H1, right? You have problems in your trading, you have to just identify what is actually the root cause and then what is a solution to that. I spoke about this in a big stream yesterday in the group about like identifying problems and then solutions in your trading. You have to sit there and do it yourself. All right, let's see. Maybe I'll just take screenshots and we'll answer questions while we're here. All right. What time frame do you prefer assets? Average number of trades per week. So let's talk about assets first. Here's the list of them, right? This I don't do as much, right? So if we cleaned it up, it's kind of like this is what I look at. Mainly focused on ES, NQ, YM, and then also gold, right? I'll look at oil for swings mostly, right? So that's kind of it for me. I can look at FX futures if dollar is very clean. That's about it. So that's kind of how it focuses. Like this has most of my time, all my time. This is if it's clean. This is like if it's really clean. Now, time frames. I need a daily framework. After that, don't really care. So I don't care if I enter on the hourly. I don't care if I enter on the 30-minute, 5-minute, all of that. I don't really care. I just need a daily framework and some sort of framework to trade off of. So like if I have a daily bias bearish and I see that I have anticipated some high of day that has formed, well, I don't really care if I need to wait all the way until price trades down to here into New York so I can trade a 3-minute. I'm just going to enter here or a continuation here with my stop, right, on a higher time frame. Number of trades per week, it depends on my week and what I'm doing with my life. There's days where, or weeks that I trade more. There's weeks that I don't trade at all. Just depends. What are the key levels you want to read? Well, we have 5 minutes left till 10 a.m. So we'll look at like 2 minutes left. We don't need much time. When you trade overnight, do you use the H1 daily candle or can you use the M15 H4? It does not matter. You can use either. Now here, I'll answer this. So here's the question, right? Here's the thing. It normally looks like this. Asia is more of the H1 entries. London is more of the M15, right? But it doesn't really matter if you have higher time frame wick to trade away from. Got it? Hopefully that helps. All right, is the timing for entries really important? I think it's important to time it within the higher time frame candles. So for instance, let's say you're trading this daily candle here. It doesn't really matter where you trade or timing of it inside here. It's just more so you want to trade after this wick has formed. If you trade before the wick has formed, you're in drawdown. So you want to wait for this wick to form. Once that wick forms, it doesn't really matter to me because you're just trading away from this high day. That makes sense. All right, let's delete that. Let's go see what's going on. You can see this is what we were talking about is if you get a deep retracement, you see how it's not bearish anymore. It's not bearish because it goes to OTE of this range, guys. A lot of people look for that. I don't use that. Right? It's not bearish because it goes here. When you get a deep retracement, that's now just a V-shaped reversal that is bullish, right? Now let's zoom out because guys, I don't know what's going on if I'm sitting here on a 3-minute time frame, right? I don't know what all the candles look like. I don't know all that. So we need to go out. We need to look at the hourly, right? This is going to close as a bullish candle too. 4 hour. It's kind of framing to the upside, so maybe I just don't even watch anything today because I'm only interested in downside, right? The YM is forming a 15-minute reversal candle. We'll kind of see. I'm only interested in, wait, let's do a poll. I want to see what you guys are. Indices, bias. You guys bullish or are you bearish? I don't really care today. don't think I'm interested in a trade to the upside. So this may be something where you guys choose a bias and we'll just frame something around that. But I would prefer to be bearish still. There's nothing on the hourly. We're not going to get something on the hourly. We'd need a 30-minute swing point. There's one potential thing that can occur. And it'd have to be on YM. So the only thing that can occur for me if I'm going to remain bearish in this area is I'd have to anticipate that this swing point's going to form. We'd use 0.5 of this wick, not the OTE. I don't use that. And then price would have to open up, form the 4-hour high, and then trade into here. Right, and I'm using YM because that's showing the most weakness on this candle time frame. All right, let's see. 69% bearish. Hey, yo. All right, we'll watch bearish. So let's see. If that's gonna form, we'll see. We just need to wait for 10 a.m., right? And then we'll watch it. But it'll be something like this. Right? Here's a daily. I'd prefer to trade with the daily candle. 4 hours still bearish, even though it has this little wick. See the 15-minute? This 15-minute have a CST. It does have a CST, so that's not really the best sign. But we'll wait and see if that happens, right? And we can talk about it. That's why I go long, because you retail guys go short. Ha ha ha. Wow, I hope you feel so incredible about yourself and that gave you the ego boost you need. If you ever need to come in here and spread hate, do whatever you need to do, feel free, because I can take that. And if that saves you some therapy costs, I'm all for it. All right, so we'll wait till 10 a.m. and see what happens. You know what? In the meantime, let's give away. What shall we give away? Let's give away a Lucid. Let's give away a Lucid Pro eval. How about that? Ready? Lucid Pro eval. So I'll give everyone. Wait, should we do how should we do it? Should we do it who's fastest, or should we do a giveaway with the bot? Use the bot. All right, yeah. Let me get to the bot. We have a bit of time to let this see if it's gonna form. All right. Giveaways. Here's the thing with the giveaway, guys. If you win the giveaway, you have to reach out to me on Discord with verification. No, guys, the keyword is, okay, yeah, we're doing bot. You have to reach out to me on Discord, showing me the account is yours, and then I'll give you the code. Got it? So this is for a Lucid Pro 25K eval. All right, and let me choose the keyword. All right. Guys, you don't need to spam bot. It's not it. All right, so the keyword here is March. So if you comment March in the chat in the next 5 minutes, you will be entered into the giveaway for a Lucid eval. All right. And here's the thing, only say it one time. If you spam it, you're gonna get removed. It's turned on to where if you spam, you get no entry. So make sure you don't spam. All right. Looks like we were not right? It's just, it can be bullish today. And that's fine if it just wants to trade higher. I'm just not interested in the upside framework today. I'm only interested in the downside framework. So we will see what happens. I'm not completely throwing it away. All right. We have entries so far. We'll do this. You can enter until 10:05. We'll roll the giveaway, see who wins, and then you just need to reach out to me on, you either have to comment in chat so I can see your email in your YouTube description, or you have to reach out to me on Discord. All right. All right, so real quick, we're going to talk about it. So the only framework I can see is if we form a reversal here, right, with SMT, and we get a continuation that closes below here, and ideally here on YM, that's about the only downside framework that could be potentially possible. Other than that, I have no interest in the upside, so it can absolutely rocket if it wants. Don't care for that. All right, so people are bearish. I don't know if they're bearish or if I'm just bearish. I do not really care. This is probably a day that I don't do anything. What makes you not have interest? Well, for me to trade a New York reversal, let's talk about this really quick. For me to trade a New York reversal, which is something like either a move lower and then a reversal, or a consolidation, we sweep out and then go, I need to have some sort of relevant level that I'm trading away from, right? And so you ideally want to see either price retrace into that and then occur, right? Or consolidate around it and then sweep and then go, right? Now I want those to occur at important time levels, so either 9:30 or 10. I prefer it at 9:30. Well, it can also be 8:30, right? I prefer 8:30 to 9:30, and then 10 can distribute. If you notice, we don't have any relevant levels for me to trade away from, right? I go to YM. I'm viewing it as we have these equal lows that are within a day's range, right? We're very close to those lows. I don't really care to try to trade away from this, right? So for me, I only am interested in trading lower, right? That's really it. All right, we have 2 more minutes to enter the giveaway. We'll go back here, right? So you can see these are the relevant levels, right? So if we were to hit these, sure, then you can have interest in trading away. But for me, if we leave these levels, I just do not care. I can't trade away from that. And that's just my rules. That's it. I got the 25 flex from the giveaway. Any advice on trading plan? I don't want to do anything dumb. Well, let's talk really quick. I'll watch this and we can see if it sets up anything. You have to decide what is the drawdown amount. Well, you don't decide that. Drawdown amount. So let's say, for instance, it's $1,500, right? This is what you have to decide. Decide how many trades you want until account is blown, right? Let's say that is 10. Well, if you have 10 and you have 1,500 drawdown, well, you risk 150 a trade, right? If you want to have 5, well, then what? You divide that by 5, so it's 300. Anyways, now that something's actually occurring on here, right? So we have the SMT, right? That's the SMT between those assets. We'll go to the, we are on the 3 screen. Right, we have the SMT. Let me clean up the chart a little. This is what I'd be interested in. This is the only thing that I'd be interested in for the day. SMT here, you can see that with ES and NQ. And so then I'd need at least the weakest asset to go and close below here, right? Because then I could say, all right, potentially that this has formed its wick. We've closed below here, and then I can be looking for either a continuation or something to look lower, right? Besides that, it's nothing. All right, let's see who won the giveaway. Now that it is 10:05, I will go to the chat thingy, choose a winner. All right, this is who won. Sadokun 7. So if that is you, please reach out to me on Discord and I will get you a code for 25K Flex account. Or no, Lucid Pro. That's what I was giving away. Oh, right there. There you are. Oh, you already have your email. There we go. So I will send you an email with your code. Congrats on winning. So guys, if you can put your email in your YouTube description, it makes it really easy for me to send you your account to win. So congrats on winning. Let's see what happens here. All right, cool. So you see how I'm only interested in the downside. The one troll in chat is trolling. It's always a good time. We want to see if we can get this closure below here and see price trade into here. Make sense? That's it. If we don't get a closure, it's not that interesting. Let's see. It swept that out. Or is it perfectly equal? We'll wait and see. But yeah, let's check the chat. What is chat saying? What do you think about long continuation on NQ? Like I said, I'm not interested in the upside today. I'm only interested in the downside. So can't be much help there in terms of anything else. Now, we're going to remove this arrow because we still need the confirmation. And then a lot of times I still prefer a continuation. It may not give the closure, and if it doesn't give the closure, we'll see what's up. Left equal lows. Yeah, it may just not be something that I'm interested in. You know? But we'll see. I'm on the 3-minute time frame right now. That is what we're on. Yes, already swept the draw on liquidity. Well, here's the thing. We have different draw on liquidity, and that's okay. We didn't even get the closure either, so. Here's the thing, guys, is everyone trades a little bit differently, and that's fine. But you don't need to project your opinions on people. Why people trade 930 if the next 30-minute H4 candle will form and create a new wick? Because the volatility coming in at 930 can a lot of times form a nice move. You know? So we just got to see if we get this closure here. For indicator entry alerts. Is it necessarily to have TradingView Premium? I'm not sure on that actually. I don't know how many ones you need for that. Hey T, if you have a candle 2 closure on the hourly on indices, should we be expecting a candle 3 for continuation? That's generally ideal if you get a good candle 2 closure and it aligns with your higher time frame bias. There's no V shape. Yeah, there's not. And like I said, this is lower quality, but the daily is aligned bearish. I'm bearish on the 4-hour. I have SMT on this 30-minute high. So we'll see. If we don't get a closure below here, then it's just not interesting, right? So we haven't got the closure below here, so there's still no setup. You know what I mean? And so that's what I mean is like, do you have the patience to wait? Because here's the thing. If I wait, right, I can be wrong on this and it doesn't matter. It's kind of like going back to, let's see, oil. Let's see. Back when we were looking for a bearish setup in here, or wherever we were. Somewhere in there. We were looking for a bearish setup and it never formed, right? It's this one. Never had a closure, so then you have to wait. And then if you were still bearish, well, you have a new swing, new 4-hour candle. 4-hour candle opens high first. Do we have aggressive price action? Sure. Right, so then now do we form a continuation from here? Right? Do we form a lower high? Who knows, right? I'm not that interested in trading a consolidation that looks like this. You know what I mean? But I would say it's more likely to go lower than it is higher. But yeah, so see, let's go back here. You see how we never got the closure? So there's nothing there. That's it. And like I said, this can go higher if it wants. I personally am uninterested in trading it higher. And now it's taken too long to form any sort of meaningful closure or displacement, so it's just not that interesting. See what I mean? So like go back to the last 4 or 5 streams. I've came in each day with like one thing that I actually wanted to see. Today I don't really have anything, right? So I kind of just chill out. From Costa Rica. I actually love Costa Rica. I'm probably going to go back here in maybe a couple months. Here's the thing, guys. Now this is a consolidation. See how we have a range high, equal lows. So if this goes and closes now, why am I not interested in it? Well, with that, we go back to my trading education center, right? We go back here to this, right? We go, why your continuations fail? And then we pull up this graphic that explains this. Let me pull it up. Whoa, wrong. This is the graphic, ready? And then we'll explain it, how it shows YM. So it's the other way around, but you see how we want to see a closure over a level. It fails to do that, kind of consolidates. Then it goes and closes through. But a lot of times that's just sweeping out liquidity to go the other way. So if we frame that here, I had a level I wanted to see closed, right? It consolidates, goes higher. This is a consolidation now. Now it's taking, and it can close below this level. But a lot of times this is a consolidation and it can go the other way. So this is one of those things where like, let's say this just dumps, right? Cool, I had the right idea. But the lower time frame price action didn't allow me to get on side with something. Does that make sense? Because the idea is still valid technically. We have SMT here. We're holding 0.5 of this wick. This is 4-hour is bearish. This is bearish, right? So I'm expecting, or like I wanted this to trade here, right? But this price action here is not something that I'd be interested in. Right, because let's clean up the chart real quick and just explain that graphic one more time. I'm looking for this to close below, right? I wanted to see price close right below here and then trade lower. It doesn't do that, it consolidates. So now this is a consolidation range. What do we know about consolidation when we sweep the low? Does this get bought back up to go to the other side of the range? Or is this going to retrace to break out? I'm not really that interested in trading, you know, lower time frame price action that looks like this when my higher time frame setup is not that great to me, right? There's a balance between this is bias. This is how strong your bias is, right? And then this is confirmation. I've talked about this in a video on a live stream. The more my bias increases, right, the less confirmation I need. So for instance, if I don't have much bias, I need a lot of confirmation, and then this goes down. So if my bias is really strong, I don't need much confirmation. If my bias is not strong, I need a lot of confirmation. So this is a scenario where, do I have a framework framing YM to these lows? Yeah. But if you look at where we're trading within the day, right, like this isn't the best structure to me. Like I don't have too strong of a bias, right? I'm just seeking a continuation because I prefer continuations, right? So it's a bit different. I still want to demand a good framework on the lower time frame here. This isn't the best, right? But do I still think that happens? Yeah, because that's what I would prefer to happen, right? Right? Who was the troll telling me they went long right here? I'm really happy for you. I want to find that because that was so funny. I gotta find that. I should have screenshotted it. That's so funny. Anyways. I would just put it on chat and put it right there. It'd be so funny. Yo, I think the quote was this. And this is why I long, because dumb retail like you are bearish. And I think that was said right here, which is great. I'm really happy for you. I just don't really care. It's just funny to me. Like here's the thing, guys. You saw it. I'm not framing to the upside. I'd already told you that. I cannot frame anything long today. You want to trade NQ long? Great, be my guest. I am only interested in YM shorts to these lows down here. That's it. Right? And we explained how that would set up. Did it set up really great? No. Maybe we could have used a better time frame. 1 minute, 2 minute. Who knows? Who cares really? But the whole idea is we have SMT here to form the 4-hour wick. This trades into the previous 4-hour low into these daily lows, right? Someone says, T, I've entered shorts. Where are my targets? Okay, well, here's the thing, guys. Like I said, I am not a signal bot, right? So this is probably the closest you'll ever get to something like that, where I'm saying, hey guys, look, I'm looking for an SMT here, for this to form a high in here, trades lower. That's it. I'm not going to say, hey guys, I am entering this. I'm not doing that, right? But if you're entering, you're asking me where your targets are, that means that you are not trading yourself. You're trying to trade off someone. So you need to figure that out before you enter a trade, right? If you're listening to the stream, you know where I'm thinking price should go, right? But you have to figure that out for yourself. I took a picture. He said, that's why I go long, because retail guys go short. Can you DM it to me on Discord? Because I'll I'll post it in chat. It's so funny. Did you have business before trading? I owned LLCs before trading, yeah. Different types of LLCs. But like, I own multiple businesses now, or private equity, bought some companies, stuff like that. Kick him out. Here's the thing, guys. I don't kick anyone out, because here's the honest truth about trading, generally speaking, is you have a lot of people that it's emotional, right? So they get upset and they project their feelings onto others. Think about it. When were you, if you ever trolled in the past, or you were just very upset person, you're probably projecting onto others in Discord, online, all of that, right? Why are they doing this? It's because you're either failing / struggling, and it makes you feel better to bring others down with you. So when I see someone hating on me, I don't take that as, wow, they actually hate me, right? I don't do that as they hate me. I view it as they are struggling, whether in trading or life, right? And they are trying to feel better. So I don't ban people or feel like take it personally. I just view it as like, wow, I'm sorry that they feel that way. You know what I mean? So it's like, if they want to hate on me, that's great. They can do that. Like, I don't mind. It doesn't impact me. You know? Like, I genuinely don't care. That's not amazing. We'll see. Ideally, you don't get this bought back up here, because this is the last area that it could get bought back up before it takes that low. The reason for that is it's taking out a short-term low, these failure swing lows, right? And this is a protected swing. So ideally, you don't see any sort of continuation here. You just see that fall, right? You can just see that from the 5-minute, because price opens, trades here, that trades lower, and it trades higher. So you know this is a short-term low. Why do people hate you? I mean, no matter what you do in life, people won't like you. You'll get people that like you get people that don't like you. Just how life works. You know? Now, if, let's say you're short anywhere up in here, I wouldn't want to see price come back to this area. If price comes back up to here, around this opening price, then it's more than likely just going to take these highs and go back up here, right? So we have this gap. You don't want to see price go above that, right? We just want to see it go lower. Why do I not show my fancy life? Why don't I show this? Guys, most people that are showing you Lamborghinis and all of this stuff, they're showing you that to draw you in, to funnel you to something, right? Do I have a course in mentorship? Sure. But I'm not going to ever use that type of tactic to sell something because I don't want people like that. I don't want to teach people that are just here to try to make money. I want to teach people that actually want to learn, right? And here's the thing. I don't live like that. I don't have some fancy life, right? Do I make some money? Sure, I make some money. But how do I actually live? I just live a pretty normal life, right? Like, I don't even own a watch. Like, I'm not materialistic like that. Do I have a pretty nice car? Sure. But I also had a beater car my whole life. And then I finally broke down and I was like, okay, I got to buy a new car. You know what I mean? So if you want to find people that are flexing like that and go learn from them, be my guest, right? Because honestly, if that's you, I truly don't really care to teach you, right? See if NQ turned around yet. Ah, there we go. All the people longing NQ. They got the V-shaped reversal. Yeah, but it's not off of anything relevant, right? So now we just sit here. There's nothing left to do until we run these lows, or if we don't. Are you a millionaire? I don't really talk about money, but yeah, I am, you know. But does it change anything in my life? Sure. I don't really have to worry about bills and stuff. But it's like, it doesn't really change much, to me at least. I shorted NQ instead of YM will TP when YM hits you. I draw on liquidity. Yeah, that's fine. I think I just don't really trade the lagging asset, generally speaking, because it's just so much slower, right? I just like to trade the one that's just expanding. Because like, look, if you short this one at 10-12, let's say, and you short this one at 10-12, it's like, sure, this goes, but like, look how much harder NQ trades or YM trades. You know what I mean? When you are a millionaire, you got to worry more about taxes. Yeah, I pay a lot of taxes. That's just how it works. What kind of student were you in school? In high school, I never got a B. I was straight A's. In college, when I was in engineering, I had a 4.0. And then I wanted to drop out because I started making money. But I didn't drop out. I just switched to a different major that was easier. And I didn't really care. And I got like I think I finished with like a 3.8 or something. This is rejecting 2 to 2.5 yesterday. That's great. It can do whatever you want with your strategy. My strategy is that we were waiting for 10 a.m. to see if this formed its wick. I anticipated it formed its wick with SMT off the previous candle's high, and then looking for this to trade into our previous lows here on the daily chart. All right, so if we go out to the daily chart, why are we looking here? That's a daily low, that's a daily low, that's a daily low. These are the main two that are relevant, but I just like to mark them all out, right? So we'll go back to the 3-minute. Why engineering? I was good at math and I just didn't know what I wanted to do with life, so I just chose engineering. I thought it was like computers and hardware and stuff like that was pretty cool, so I was computer engineering for a while. How did you get into trading and why? I was actually dealing with some health conditions and had to quit my job, and I was sitting at home on Instagram and I saw a reel about trading. And yeah, there it is. So we just took out this short-term low. We don't really want to see any sort of aggressive reaction, right? We don't want to see it bob back up to here. Ideally, we can consolidate, we can retrace, we can do whatever, but you guys know my idea. I don't really need to say much now. Let's see. Yo, someone sent it to me on Discord. Yo, this is a banger. Sorry, Loco Ben, if you troll, bro, you get trolled back. That's just how life works, man. Oh, it's too funny, man. What did your parents think about when you were doing? I mean, my dad and my brothers kind of made fun of me. My mom believed in me. I mean, like, you guys got to realize, like, for a year and a half, I just lost money. Like, well, not many people will believe in you for that. Yeah, this is going on Twitter because it's actually hella funny. All right, that's enough fun. We don't need to troll Loco Ben forever. Why isn't the V-shape low valid? Because this isn't, guys, this reversal is not off of anything relevant. Like, there's nothing for me to frame upside. Like, go back in the stream in here. I was telling you guys, there is only one thing I'll do, and that is framing this lower, as well as NQ if it wants to go lower. But NQ is the strongest, right? So that's why we focus on YM. All right, we're almost to our first target. Look at that. Yo, how funny would it be if it was like, hey, we're gonna get 2 points away from your target and then go all the way up? I've had that type of stuff happen. How are you doing? I'm doing good. How are you guys doing? Anyone do anything? Is this helpful? Streams are very helpful, thank you. Hopefully it helped just some of you guys out. I think you gotta realize, like, you just have to know where you want to see price go and stop trying to just get flip-floppy around, because the amount of people I always see when price does something like this, and they're like, okay, now it's bullish, right? It's like, well, do you have a reason to be bullish, right? For me, there's no reason to be bullish because we haven't hit any relevant levels. So this is all fake to me. Fake move. Then if that's fake, you guys can go back in the stream. I'll show you guys. If you go back in the stream, I remember it. I was looking right here. I sat here and I looked at the 30-minute chart and I was just looking, is there a potential swing I can trade away from? And YM was the only one that told me that there's some sort of weakness. And I walked through exactly what I would do. 0.5 of the wick, see if there's SMT, all of that, right? I think if you rewatch the streams and you already know what's happening after, then it can be easier to see. You should stream more. I'll stream more when I got time, you know? Yo, my bank is calling me. I'm not answering. 1 second, I'm gonna respond to them. All right. It's actually reversing off of that. That's hilarious. GU and EU, please. I don't really have much bias in terms of dollar, right? I was saying dollar could reverse higher if it wanted. Let's go here. And it looks like it didn't, right? And that's what I was saying is I don't like to oppose the daily candle, right? So it either fails here, and then I was saying it can trade to these lows, or it reacts in here, I can trade that higher tomorrow. Guys, you'll realize all I look for is continuations, right? Like, sure, we go back here. This is technically a reversal, but it's a continuation of the daily range. It's in the direction of the daily candle, all of that, right? So it's actually trolling. I can't believe I said that and it did that. That's too funny. Why were you looking for shorts after 10 a.m.? I mean, I would just go through the stream, go back to where I was talking about it. I explained it. Do you make more in trading than offline? You got to realize I have multiple different businesses that I am running, like a handful, more than a handful. So it depends on the month. Is trading clean? Like, here's the thing, guys. Go back to indices since October. You can't tell me that this is clean. There is zero trend. There's nothing going on here. This is ranging. Are there setups in here? Sure. But it's like, I haven't really traded much in the past since October, November, because this is just not clean. This is the last day where if we were going to have a continuation, it's like we would have formed a continuation here and then just V-shaped it back up to the highs, but we didn't. Then we just consolidate. So you just have to sit here. So it's like, I haven't really been trading that much since then because it's just choppy. Am I hiring? I hire people that can help me automate my systems. So like AI people, that's why I'm saying like there's a lot of money in AI right now. If you can understand AI and how to help people automate stuff, you can make money off of that. Think about it this way, right? If you guys want other streams of income, this is all businesses. Find a problem, build solution, sell solution. So let's say, for instance, a common theme for even, you could say, the trading people, like social media, right? Content. People struggle with content. So how do you automate or speed up generation of content using AI? Figure that out. Sell the solution. You just made a business. Right? Like, business itself is not crazy. You just have to do it. So many people are afraid to just make the jump. I make brain rot video on AI and get money from Facebook. I mean, here's the thing, guys. Like, gotta do what you gotta do to make a living, you know? But this is actually such a troll. I can't believe I said that. Anyways, nice move nonetheless. Now I have a 15-minute CISD, right? So you don't really want to see price come up here. Just a lower quality day. So you want to see the lower half of that respect. What's in the lower half? Not much. So yeah, maybe we just get trolled like that. Are you taking retracement trades like that against bias? Not really. You guys will see a video. Oh, let me pull it up. I gotta pull up my Notion really quick. This is the next video. So these are my next two videos coming out. We got relevant highs and lows. So that will kind of help with today, right? And then we have trading invalidation of bias. So the only way I really trade counter trend is I'm trading the invalidation of my bias. So yeah, I actually got trolled. Yo, Loco Ben, where you at? Because if you said it here, bro, you could definitely flex on me. Wait, Loco Ben. Yo, he's there. Let's go. Here's the thing, guys. I will troll people, but like if he's long right here, great for him. Hey, Loco Ben. Here's the thing, guys. I know Loco Ben's a good dude because he's got a good sense of humor. Like, look at that. I trolled him. He didn't even care, and he just came back. So he's a homie. Thank you, Loco Ben, for being a good sport, making the stream fun. Guys, here's the thing. He's just having fun. I'm having fun. You don't need to say any hate on him. Like, you don't need to call him names or anything. Like, it's just for fun. Yeah. See, Loco Ben, he's good. See? Look at it. He's a homie. You know? And it is actually so funny, right? Not funny, but funny that I was like, oh, a lot of times it'll just do that. And it actually did that. It's not funny, but it's funny. What's the difference between T? I got wrecked in the markets today. How did you find your bias? Well, the great thing is this video will be recorded. It will be uploaded. You can go back to the exact time. I would say focus on around 9:50, 10 a.m. in my stream, and you will see exactly what I mean. So, what's the difference between YouTube and your trading course? So we spoke about this a little bit, but YouTube, ready? We'll do this. YouTube, my course. Info, almost the same on both, right? They both have info. Like guys, my model, it's simple, right? There's not much I can even gatekeep and I don't, right? Almost the same. YouTube, what's this though? You have all the info, you just have to put it together. So for instance, it's like, you have to go through my videos and put it together. I make that pretty, not easy, but like pretty easy because you can go to my website, you can click the fractal model filter here, right? And then you have all these videos that kind of blend with the fractal model. Now, the thing is, what does my course do? Like I said, info is the same, but it's structure, right? You have a course of A to Z, what you need, flowchart of the model, and then you have Discord, community. This is mainly for, you know, you find people that are learning the same as you, but also access to me. So like, I know a lot of you are saying in here, like, hey, I'm missing your question. You got to realize I'm getting thousands of comments in here. Right now I have 25 to go get to this morning after the stream, right? So the main thing is like, you get that, and then you have some live streams, live Q&A each week, right? So like, that's the main difference. It's like, it's more of the community aspect. I'm actually there to just answer questions on the education. Versus YouTube, it's like, you have all the info. So like, this is kind of the difference between everything in life is time or money, right? So if you want to save time, well, then you come here, but you have to spend a little money. If you want to save money, well, then you come here, but you have to spend a little time. It's just how it naturally works, right? Okay. And yeah, I also have a free Discord, which I can get to. Is there an update on the indicator? Because I don't have the option for a time frame toggle. I mean, you can just click here and change the time frame. Automatic, or you can choose your own. You can do custom and choose all these. If you need to update it, you can just right click it and hit update the script. But let's see if YM's done trolling around and finally goes for it. What's the difference between a strong and weak bias? Once you watch the daily chart enough, you'll just get a feeling for like, hey, I'm very confident in this move. Versus other ones you don't. Right? Did you watch all ICT videos? No. I watched like the 2022 mentorship and like month 1 of core content. Like, that's really it. H1C2 and H4C2 and H1C2, why is still bearish? So if you take a look at the 4-hour chart here, yes, we have a candle 2 closure here. But is this a reversal candle? The whole goal of candle 2 closure, guys, is have price open, make a low, in reverse, right? Look how price opened, traded here, and then here. Is that a reversal candle? No. So I'm not considering this a reversal. I'm still looking for price to continue into here, and then potentially lower, right? So also on the hourly. Yes, this is a reversal candle, but I just consider that fake because I'm not bullish, right? And we open high first. So I don't just flip-flop my bias around, guys. I have an idea and I just kind of stick with that. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I have not really thought out that far. Ideally, having more businesses, doing more cool things. Like, I don't know. All right, this is getting pretty lame though. It's not that interesting. Check NQ. I mean, guys, that's even worse. No, that's equal highs. Like, this might just be kind of a day where I'm gonna go eat some breakfast and call it a day. Thoughts on war. Bro, what kind of a question is that? Like, I don't know what, like, I'm talking about YM and you come in, thoughts on war? Bro, I've never been in war, so I don't have any opinion on a first-hand experience in war. And I'm not a politician, so I don't have any opinion. I have zero opinion on anything political, thank you. And I am media trained by myself, look at that. Thoughts on murder. Yeah, let's not, I would disagree with murder. I do not think that is good. Do not think war is good. Let's not talk about any of that, guys. Let's just talk about the charts. How do you have time for all of this if you have a lot of business? So really, I have from like, depending when I get up at 7 a.m. to, I give myself until like 5 or 6 p.m. to work, right? So I have all those hours between that I can work on stuff. So trading is normally like a 8 to 10:30 type thing, maybe 11. Sometimes it can even be 9:30. So that's like an hour and a half. All right, well, I have all these hours in the day. Slice that out of it. Slice some other stuff. I have a lot of hours in the day that I can work on stuff, so. Clean shave or beard? I have clean shaven. Bro, you wake up at 9:25 every day. Not every day. Though yesterday I did. Yesterday I woke up at like 9:30. But that's because I was hanging out with my girlfriend. And I got back late. Like today I was up at like 8. All right, it's trolling, but like I said, we still have targets there. And that's within the daily range, 700 points I'm giving it. I am long on NQ, am I wrong? Well, here's the thing, guys. You can trade however you want. I don't know if you're trading the 15-second, I don't know if you're trading the 1-day chart. Like, I cannot say if you are wrong or not, right? Because here's the thing, I can be just as wrong as if you're wrong, right? What kind of businesses are you working on? Let's do another giveaway. How about that? And then we'll talk. Let's think about a keyword. How about this? Guys, there's like, there's 1,000 people in here and we got 500 likes. If we hit 750 likes before I end the stream, we'll do another giveaway. Otherwise, we will save the giveaway for another day. Dodging? I'm not dodging the question. I'm working on a business right now that's a supplement that has no nicotine, no caffeine, no stimulants to help repair your adrenals. For people that are addicted to nicotine, so they can ideally get off of nicotine or use less nicotine because it repairs your depleted adrenals. There you go. There's a business I'm working on. Been working on that for maybe 6 months. I'm going out at the start of April to my manufacturer in California and finalizing things, and then we will release those. And then that either works or I lose money, right? Like that's how it works. It's risk to reward. All right, let's do another giveaway. If we have 750 likes, we're at 605. So we'll put it on there. 750 likes for giveaway. And I will also mark out that I want to see price do that. Where in Cali are you visiting? It's around LA, so I'll be in LA. I'm a beginner. Where do I start on YouTube? So the easiest way to go from a beginner is go to my website, ttrades.com, click this button called Core Concepts right here. You'll go to Trading Education, Core Concepts, and then this will have all of those core concepts, or just watch all of these in here. Now everything's organized on the website. It's very clean. Do the fastest way, not the bot. No, we're gonna do the bot. It's more, oh, that's a fire keyword. All right, guys. We're gonna do the giveaway even though we didn't get 750 likes. I don't really care. All right, let me sort this. Wait, I gotta do a giveaway. Giveaway options, keyword. And remove spammers, yes. All right, guys. Wait, I think I need to like restart this. Reset entries. Okay, I've reset entries, giveaway options. All right, now it is set up. Here you guys go. This will be for a 25K Lucid Flex. Code word, Loco Ben. Loco Ben to enter. And feel free, and really quick, more than one entry, like don't spam, equal is removed. Giveaway. Okay, so don't spam. Loco Ben, Loco Ben. Loco Ben. Did NQ get weaker? No, it's just chilling. All right. $25K Lucid Flex account. How do I know if I didn't send too early? You can send one more time. I don't think it will do it if you do it twice. I think it's people that just like spam over and over and over. Loco Ben. I think I need to get the indicator for free now. How about this, Loco Ben? For being a good not support. Reach out to me on Discord. I'll give you a month free of the indicator. Being a good sport. We'll put that there. Loco Ben gets 1 month free indicator for being good sport. There we go. Shout out Loco Ben. He made chat really fun today, you know? All right, we are at, let's see. We're at 319 entries. There is 830 people in chat. So if you want to enter, why does Loco Ben get it? I don't know, it's fun. Let me have fun and give away stuff, guys. All right. Say Loco Ben in chat if you want to enter the giveaway. We are choosing the giveaway winner. We'll say in 2 more minutes. 10:52. It ends. We're kind of over price action here. It was very lethargic today. We had one nice expansion. I still want it to go lower. We'll say this is a V-shaped reversal. Makes a wick on a higher time frame. If we're going to reverse, you want to see it sweep that high and then go lower. Or we have SMT there, but you prefer the sweep. All right, 10:52 giveaway. Loco Ben is the keyword. Only say it once. Let's see. What is the level price on YM lows? My charts though, the first daily low at 45776. Yeah, so I have B adjust turned on. So if you don't have B adjust turned on, it may be different. But my price is 46052 on the continuous contract for this first one, and 46040, and then basically 4600. All right. Yes, you'll still be in if you do it 2 times. It's fine if you were early because I reset the entries and started it. All right. 10:50. We got 1 more minute left for any entries like that. Loco Ben. We need to make a mixtape with Loco Ben. If you see ES, we'll take the lows on the 1 hour chart. So we use external to internal. Please. So it doesn't really matter if you use the 1 hour, 4 hour. Like for me, I don't really care if I'm using the 1 hour, 4 hour in here. It's more about the context of, hey, my higher time frame candle just opened. Has it formed a wick, right? It's kind of like right here. I don't really care what time frame I use. I could go to the 5 minute and be like, all right, well, we just swept out this little high. Could use the 1 minute. It's all the same to me. I'm just viewing it on the 3 minute. This is a consolidation. If we're going to trade lower, we want to sweep and form a high here. Because if we don't form a high here, guys, this is a lower high to this one. If we don't form this, we go higher, right? So very simple. This happens where that doesn't. All right, we're at 10:52. Let's choose the winner of a 25K Lucid Flex account using entries LocoBen. All right, last people got in, and this is the winner. So please, if you can, you either have your email in your, did it put it in chat? Yeah. Please respond really quick. If you can, Daniel. I want to either check to see if your email is in your description. I can just email you code, or you need to reach out on Discord. And LocoBen, please reach out to me as well on Discord. All right, there we go, right? So we swept out this consolidation high. This is where I'd want to see it from the lower high to this one if we're going to trade lower. Daniel, that's me. All right, let's see. Do you have go-to channel? Daniel, any way you can DM me on Discord showing you that you own this channel, or put your email in the description so I can grab your email. My Discord name is Ben Futures TT. All right, let me do that. We'll watch this and then we'll probably end the stream. Ben, you DM me in Discord? Oh, yeah. Let's see. Ben Futures, if you just DM me, I will get you. LocoBen. And then Daniel, if you can update your YouTube description with your email in it, or just send me a DM on Discord, I will get you your code as well. So this is a nice reaction off of this high, right? So ideally we see this continuation lower. Let's really quick look at our higher time frames. New 15-minute candle allows for continuation, 30 hours till that. So we do need to flip to 30, but this is ideal. Ideally we run through this low. This is the end of the consolidation low, so you don't want to see a reaction there. You want to see price break out of that range, right? Great. What indicator does LocoBen get? LocoBen gets my indicator, this one, the TTFM Pro. It's the one I use. Gotta get trolls. Nah, not troll. It's just like he was a really good sport about it, you know? Yeah. Daniel, did you send me a DM? Or, yeah, Ben, I saw your DM. Or Daniel, can you update your description on YouTube to just show your YouTube or your email? That way I can get you that. T, can you make fun of me tomorrow? LOL, you guys are funny. Guys, everyone loses, right? You gotta realize everyone in trading loses. Like, it's just part of the thing. Or part of the game. All right, let's see. We want to see us basically fall through this low. And what do I mean by that's the range low? Let's go to the 1 minute. Yeah, we're in a consolidation range. We swept the consolidation range high. Little 1 minute CISD. We want to see us trade through this low and go lower. If not, it's really like, if we react off this low and go back higher, guys, I'm just going to end the stream. Are you happier with a girlfriend, or does it work? It depends. I've had girls before that I've dated that made my life worse, right? My girlfriend right now makes my life better. So it depends on who it is. All right, so I hit the range low. If that's something like, here's the thing, guys, if I was ever trading that, like I'm in here, it's like if it hits the range low, I just go break even because it's either going to fail or it needs to break lower. But that's it. Thanks T for the stream. Yeah, guys, thanks for joining, and having fun. It was a good time. Hope you learned something. If you didn't, that sucks. I'm sorry. If you did, glad to have you here. And yeah, join in each time we do it. Maybe I'll get on a schedule, but I'm a bit busy in April, so I'm not sure the times I'll be able to. But with that said, we'll always be trying to give away accounts, give away indicators, giving away everything we can to make it fun, entertaining, and also doing, also just learning, talking about price, right? So reaction off of that, we're going to just call this stream it, right? Not much. Did oil go lower? That's the only interesting thing. No, oil also didn't form a continuation. Nice. Gold. Yeah, sure. Quick check on everything. That's it. All right. We'll end it there. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time. And like always, thanks for joining in. I'll see you guys around. If you have any questions, reach out in the free Discord and I will help you out. All right. See ya.